I struggled with lack of self-esteem, self-doubt, feelings of worthlessness, procrastination, unsureness. I think that when I first began writing, I was not a very good writer because I could not be emotionally present. I was too busy trying to write. I would say that was a metaphor for how I was living my life, as I was trying to do the right thing, please people, and so on and so forth. At a certain point, a couple of things happened, usually fairly traumatic events, which is typical for people. And the cost-benefit analysis, to use a financial term, was that the price of failing was too high. But what saved me was when I began to realize that the problem that I was having was not some kind of psychological, emotional, traumatic problems from my past, though those existed. It was because I had a bad relationship with myself. And that was very shocking to me. And I began to explore various ways to authentically change my relationship with myself, not positive thinking. That stuff doesn't work. That just brings up all the doubt that you already feel, and your inner critic goes, really? So you don't want to do that. But what worked for me was when I said, look, this is not optional. And again, my research showed that we all naturally have a good relationship with ourselves, and it gets really twisted around by the way we're treated as kids. And I thought, well, history is a story, right? So I thought, what if I literally rewrite my history? Even if I don't believe it, it opens a possibility. And so working with the hug and the Word of the Day practices took me a couple of years, but it's changed the way I empirically related to myself, and I recommend it. The other way that I make sure that I'm doing it is I pay careful attention to how I talk to myself, and I still find that I have many, many occasions when I am very negative. So the trick is to be mindful, use your journal, but to set your goal. In other words, the most important thing to ever work for is to have a good relationship with yourself, because then if you have that, everything is possible and flows.